Good evening. Welcome to the organizational meeting of the Cave Creek Unified School District for the 2023 calendar year. The term of the former president of the governing board, Beth Hatcher, expired as of December 31st, 2022. This presents a unique situation. The governing board has adopted a policy which addresses the holding of an organizational meeting. Governing Board Policy BDA. This policy requires the board to hold an organization meeting every January. I'd like to quote from the policy directly regarding the current situation. The meeting shall be called to order by the president of the board for the preceding year. If that person is not a member of the board, a temporary president shall be elected and the meeting shall be called to order by the temporary president. The person calling the meeting to order shall preside until a successor is chosen. The new president of the board shall take office upon election. A vice president will then be elected. Accordingly, the board's first order of business tonight in agenda item 1.1 shall be to elect a temporary president to run the meeting until the board chooses officers for the coming calendar year. Any board member may make a motion to nominate themselves or another board member to act as the temporary president. This process has been vetted by the board's legal counsel as well as ASBA as an appropriate process to follow given Ms. Hatcher's absence from the board.
Are we going to do a Pledge of Allegiance?
First, we will do if there's any motions for a temporary president to run the meeting. And then that person will do the call to the order, the roll call, the Pledge of Allegiance.
I would like to advance Board Member Jeff Fortney's name to be the temporary president this evening.
So moved. Second.
Somebody, you want to vote all in favor of that?
Sure. All in favor of me?
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Jackie, was that an aye?
That was an aye.
All right, so temporary President Fortney.
This is two in a row. I don't know. All right, thank you. All right. Well, we're done with 1.1, so 1.2, call to order. We do have a few, so do we have that admonition? I know it's not on here.
You're just calling the meeting to order at 1.2.
Oh, call to order, sorry.
Yeah, it's 6:02.
I can read. Call to order. So we do have all 5 board members are present. That's roll call. So calling this to order. All right. Item 1.3, roll call. All 5 board members are in attendance. We have a quorum. Present from administration, Ms. Rodriguez, and I can never pronounce your name right. Hendrickson, sorry. And Betty Jensen, Dr. Jensen, and Nancy Giebb Scott, and Mr.
Dr. Monroe.
Dr. Monroe. I've worked with you before, haven't I?
You're doing great.
All right. So item 1.4, formal adoption of the agenda. Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda as written?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Okay, the motion is passed. 1.5, call to fill out forms for the public. We do have a few of those, so we'll read an admonition in just a moment. And item 1.6, Pledge of Allegiance. So everybody please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 2.1, call to the public. We do have a few. Do we have that admonition to read? I don't have that handy.
It's right here, Jackie.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Microphone on.
A call to the public. According to ARS 38-431, governing board members may not discuss or take legal actions on matters raised during an open call to the public. The only allowable responses a governing board member may make are: 1, board member may respond if there is direct criticism of the board member; 2, board member may direct staff to look into a matter; or 3, board member can ask to have an item placed on a future agenda. Speakers need to be mindful of what they are saying. When presented to the board, inappropriate comments could be considered slanders. You will have 3 minutes to speak, so we will just go through this. First up is Catherine Fay.
Testing. All right, tell me when my clock starts. Oh, okay. Hello, everybody. I just want to first say congratulations to Scott Brown being reelected, and congratulations to Jackie Ulmer for being a part of our board. We're very excited to have you. So with that, the board, Dr. Monroe, and Associated Cave Creek District Administration. On our district website, there is a statement made on the website that says, quote, "We offer high-quality world language programs for students in preschool through high school." I can tell you right now that this is not true with the way things are going for the high school. The Spanish 1/2 first year experience has been awful, and the kids are not being taught properly, learning what they should be. When 91% of a Spanish 1 class has failed the grammar portion of the final, which is the biggest part of their grade, that's a problem. This class can affect their GPA, scholarships, certain colleges they would like to get into, and worst of all, their confidence and mental health. High school is hard enough as it is. And to have these kids not have a quality education around the world language piece is terrible. It's not right, and it's unfair to our kids, and we are not setting them up for success. Myself and tons of other parents have brought issues throughout the last semester across the high school administration, counselors, principal, assistant principals, world language deans, you name it. And they are aware, and I hope they are communicating amongst themselves and discussing with each other, because the things I've noticed was a lack also of communication. So parents will say, well, I told this person, and somebody says, I told that person, and not everybody, especially at the principal, knows about all the conversations and issues that are happening. So it's a widespread issue. And at first I thought, well, maybe this is a one-time problem with just my son's class, and hoping that the high school will fix it. Then I come to find out there are also issues with second-year Spanish also going on, and that there are issues in the past with the Mandarin and the French classes when I'm talking to other parents. I have since realized that our high school world language program is broken, and it's a systemic problem within the Cave Creek Unified School District, and it needs to be fixed. It needs constant oversight and governance with all these brand new teachers from across the world who need to have at least a syllabus, lessons plans, curriculums, and then getting tested on those things taught, not things you're not taught in class. I'm not surprised that even for the finals, the teacher didn't even know about the test and gave it to them anyways, for things not even taught. These problems need to be addressed and fixed in the short term and long term, and we are going to have to find the right instructor, not necessarily bringing in teachers from all over the world who have had zero experience in the U.S. and in teaching. We need also the right lessons plans. We are better than this. What is happening is not okay. The entire department needs to be addressed.
Thank you. Hands up.
Oh, the middle school language is great, by the way. I just wanted to point that out there. Thank you.
Thanks. Next up, Dawn Floriano.
Hi there. I would like to piggyback on what Catherine said, and I'm not as organized as she is. I don't have any notes, but I do have a freshman at the high school in Spanish 1 that has not come from any of the immersion programs in the district, so he is brand new to this language, and we are struggling. We watched on the day of finals. Somehow he managed to get a B, but as the day closed at very last minute, he ended up with a C, books closed, and now we're begging for grades to be changed because we feel it was unfair the way the exams were issued to the students, especially as Catherine alluded to, the grammar portion of it. I have called the dean 3 times. I have spoken to his counselor twice. I have talked to Ms. Barella's assistant, and I feel like they care, but nothing's really being done. It was even suggested that we purchase Rosetta Stone or Babbel to get our son through this semester, which I think is very unfair. We're willing to put in the work and help study at home, but I have an intelligent child that hates that class, is afraid to approach the teacher because he doesn't know even what to ask. He's been told to go into other Spanish teachers' classrooms and ask for help or National Honor Society, but he doesn't know where to start. I did have a very nice conversation with Ms. Barella this afternoon, and kind of what Catherine mentioned, there were some things she was not aware of. She promises she will have a discussion with the teacher and get back to me tomorrow, but we are just asking for your help to get this program back to where it belongs. Our kids are struggling. They need this to get into college, and we're lost. We don't know what to do, but I really honestly don't think I should have to purchase Rosetta Stone or Babbel to get my son through Spanish 1 this year. So any help from this board and this district would be much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Monroe, I would like for you to look into this world language issue and then report back to the board.
Will do.
Next up, Zach McQueen, and he does have some additional time, so you'll have a total of 9 minutes.
Thank you. I will try not to take that much time. So good evening, board members, members of administration, Member Brown, Member Olmer, congratulations on your recent election. My name is Zach McQueen. I'm the treasurer for the Action for Students Political Action Committee. I'm the father to 5 amazing kids in the district. My oldest will be graduating from the IB program this year. I have one that will participate in EVIT in the fall, 2 at Lone Mountain with fantastic teachers, and 1 in the PLC program at Black Mountain. So I'm busy. We live in a great district, right? Test scores are high. IB program sets us apart. In the high school, we partner with EVIT. Our primary schools even have a focus, and one having a horse program in a cowboy town. It's awesome. Mr. Cupo is theater program. We have the PLC program that's vital for our special education students. We have athletic teams that are high achieving. We have counselors and support staff who deeply care. We have teachers that are passionate about the students' success. And we have some great administrators that are not afraid to make fun of themselves in the spirit of community building, right? We have PTOs that fund programs and salaries because we don't have enough funding. Business owners who step up and support every day, Kiwanis, CCUEF, and on and on and on. I could go on and on and on, okay? And yet, today is another day that due to inadequate funding caused by not having a bond or override funding, our teachers and staff remain in the bottom 15% pay in Arizona, and we acknowledge the fact that all our programs need support, right? We ask each of you this year as we're going into the new school year, how is the governing board going to address this? So Action for Students' renewed mission is to continue building support for Cave Creek schools and advocate for essential funding through community development, education, and calls to action. Due to additional research, I know one of my colleagues mentioned that we might go to the nonprofit route, but we are going to remain a political action committee to help this board with future ballot initiatives. In the name of that mission, we would like to highlight a few items. The governing board is responsible for 279 classified staff members, 248 teachers, 23 specialists, 20 administrative staff members, and 4,531 students. The support, satisfaction, and success of these 5,101 individuals is your responsibility. Use your governing board self-appraisal document to focus your efforts and educate this community. There's been a call to audit this district. We implore you to call for the Arizona Auditor General State's audit as the last one was completed in 2012. Do not pay for an outside audit with money we do not have. The story will be like the audit from 10 years ago. It's public knowledge. We're a high-achieving district with some concerns, i.e. our enrollment is low, capacity percentage is too low. We use capital to pay for M&O. We spend too much on utilities, on and on and on, right? It's the same story, 10 years, over and over and over again. Did you know that we are at a disadvantage financially? State funding price per pupil to Cave Creek Unified School District is $5,904 and change. State funding price per pupil to charter schools is $9,075 and change. Charters get more because they can't call for a bond and override. Other districts have bond and overrides approved to supplement this income. We don't. Just imagine if legislation was the same. It's approximately $15 million in additional funding that we would get in the school district. So we encourage you to keep using the governing board self-assessment document as outlined in your principles. We need to be solution-focused. We need to collaborate with administration. We need to advocate for legislation change, ask the community for help, develop committees for oversight, and most important, find a way to pay our teachers and staff a competitive compensation with either a bond or override to pass that or other means. Remember, we're here to help as this political action committee, and I do have a lot more time. I went through it. So I'll read some of for the community members on this self-appraisal governing board document that is public knowledge. A couple points that it makes. Section A, so this is section BAA-E, and subsection A, board relationship with the superintendent. The board imparts information on issues, needs, and complaints in a manner allowing the superintendent the opportunity to solve related problems in a professional manner. Subsection B, board relationship with the community. The board recognizes that the community expects their first and greatest concern to be the best interests of each and every one of the young people without distinction as to who they are or what their background may be. The board enacts policies supporting the efforts of the administration in helping the people of this community to have the facts about the schools to the end that they will readily provide the finest possible school programs, school staff, and school facilities. Subsection D, board relationships with staff and personnel. The board members make every effort to become acquainted with the personnel of the district. Subsection F, board relationship to the financial management of the schools. The board establishes the policies and provides necessary resources to properly manage the finances of the district. So as you can see, there's a lot of things that we want to do. We want to be successful. We want to be collaborative. We want to support our administration. So we're here to help. We're just calling you to action that we need to pay our teachers and staff more. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 3, welcome the new and re-elected board members, presented by Dr. Monroe.
Temporary President Fortney and members of the board, I'd like to just read a short bio about our two board members. Welcome Mrs. Ulmer, Board Member Ulmer, and welcome back, the continuation of Board Member Brown, who never left. So I'd just like to read just a bio about them. So first, Member Brown, Scott, his wife, Gail, and their two children, Colby and Shelby, moved to Cave Creek in the spring of '02. Colby and Shelby were some of the first students at Lone Mountain Elementary School when it opened. Both of his children attended Desert Arroyo, then attended and graduated from Cactus Shadows, Colby in 12 and Shelby in 14. As his children grew up through the school district, Scott played an active role as a classroom and school volunteer, the former Lone Mountain PTO co-president, and as a member on several school and district committees. Notably, Scott served on the Rebuild the Nest Committee, responsible for the master plan of Cactus Shadows' new track and athletic stadium. He also served for 4 years on the Cactus Shadows Site Council. Scott was honored by the governing board as a recipient of the Adult Volunteer Excellence Award in 2015. He was first elected to the governing board in 2018, and he was re-elected for a second term this past November. Scott is proud to be one of the founders of Cave Creek Carefree Youth Football and Cheerleading. Established in '02, he served as the association president for their first 5 seasons, then as the deputy commissioner for 9 seasons, and is now back as the association president for the 2023 season. Scott is also a member of the Kiwanis Club of Carefree, where he serves as an active member on the scholarship committee. This past May, the committee awarded over $350,000 in scholarship awarded to 32 local high school seniors. So congratulations, Member Brown. Jackie Ulmer and her husband, Mark. Thank you for being here, Mark, who's in the audience. Returned to Arizona in 2016 after 15 years in California. Their children were born in the Valley and are now adults and out of the home. Their son is active in the United States Marine Corps. Thank you for his service. Stationed in North Carolina, and their daughter graduated from NAU and returned to Scottsdale after 4 years in Nashville. While in California, Jackie was very active in her child's education in the schools, in PTA, room volunteer, school site council, chairing many committees such as the Career Day and fundraising for the PTA. As airline industry veterans, they both enjoy travel and experiencing new cultures and countries. Today, Jackie is a coach and a consultant in the area of peak performance and habits for success in all areas of life focused on health, relationships, and money business career. So welcome to the board, Ms. Board Member Ulmer. Turn on your mic. Make sure your mic is
Sorry.
on.
Item 4, new business. Item 4.1, election of board officers presented by me, the temporary president. Do we have some script for this?
I think you could probably read read the background.
Oh.
And just start off with that.
Right. This is like really blurry here. As outlined in Arizona statute, oh, hey, that looks better. 15321. No, that's okay, thanks. And governing board policy BDA, the governing board of the Cave Creek Unified School District number 93 will hold an organizational meeting Monday, January 9th, 2023 at 6 p.m. in the governing board room for the purpose of electing a governing board president and vice president. The elected president of the board will take office upon election, and he or she will then proceed with the election of a vice president. Following that election, the governing board will be asked to choose an ASBA delegate and an alternate to represent the district for the 2023 calendar year.
So, Temporary President Fortney, so you'll run the election for president, and then once the president is elected, they will run the election for the vice president, ASBA delegate, and the alternate.
All right.
And Julia, you can keep us honest if we miss something up here.
All right. So, do we have any nominations for president of the Cave Creek Unified School District, number 93, for president?
I would like to nominate Board Member Janet Busby to the position of Board President for this year.
Janet, do you accept the nomination? Any other nominations?
Sure.
Any other nominations for president? We'll do this like official. Are there any nominations for president? One last time. Are there any other?
We need a second.
Oh, is there a second? Sorry.
Second.
All right. All right. Any other nominations? All right. Then, do we go ahead and vote, or do we?
Yes,
Okay.
you vote.
All right. So we'll roll call. We'll start with Member Busby.
Aye. Aye.
I'll vote aye.
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 All right. Congratulations, Member Busby. You are now President Busby.
Wow.
So motion passed 5-0,
5-0.
and
You're on.
now President Busby, you will run the vice president, and then the ASBA delegate and the alternate.
Okay. Is there a motion to nominate a vice president for the board?
I would like to nominate Brianna Walker for Vice President.
I will nominate Scott Brown. Is there a second on either of these motions? Is there a second for Brianna? Okay. Is there a second for the motion for Scott?
I'll second.
Okay. All right. So the motion to nominate Scott Brown as vice president was seconded. We'll do a roll call vote.
Yeah, roll call.
Aye. Jackie?
Aye.
No.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-1. Congratulations, Vice President Brown. Is there a nomination for an ASBA delegate who will represent the district during the 2023 calendar year?
I would like to nominate Jeff Fortney.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Roll call. Aye.
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 Motion passes 5-0. Congratulations, Member Fortney. You are our continuing ASBA delegate. All right. What else is on here?
Alternate.
Oh,
ASBA
an alternate. Is there a nomination for an alternate ASBA delegate?
I'll nominate Brianna Walker for delegate.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Motion has been seconded. I will vote aye.
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 Motion passes 5-0. Congratulations, Brianna.
Thank you.
In Jeff's absence, you will be the runner-up. Okay, anything else? Okay, we have no old business, no future agenda items. So is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, meeting is concluded at 6:25.
Congratulations.